Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. This is a video about the lunar and the solar eclipses of the early part of 2013. Now, the point of eclipses is there are times of change. They occur when the Earth and the Moon are aligned with the Sun, and the shadow of one body cast by the Sun falls on the other. A solar eclipse can only happen at a new moon, and twice a year at certain new moons, when the moon is conjunction with the Sun, the moon may pass in front of the Sun as seen from a narrow region on the surface of the Earth and cause a solar eclipse. And we get that beautiful diamond effect as seen in this picture, top right. The lunar eclipse happens only at a full moon, and it can happen either before the solar eclipse or after. And this is when the moon, of course, is in opposition to the Sun. That's always a full moon. And the moon may pass through the shadow of the Earth. Now, a lunar eclipse is visible, obviously, from the night half of the Earth. At this current time, the transits of these eclipses are occurring in the signs of Scorpio and Taurus. Now, at this time, in April, the Sun is in Taurus, so the moon at the lunar eclipse will be in Scorpio, and the North Node is in Scorpio. And this is a signal to dig deep in emotionally, to face our fears and our desires. The South Node in Taurus, however, attracts us to the comfort, the ease, and a sense of self-satisfaction, as symbolized by its totem animal, the cow. Think about them, very placid, aren't they? Just sit in a field, chewing the cud. They don't really do much. But there's a life of ease to do with the sign of Taurus. The Scorpio would challenge us. It challenges our existing values. It rattles relationships and will re-examine the use of our resources. Taurus represents, in our birth charts, the second house is naturally Taurian, to do with values, governed by Venus, and also to do with money. Scorpio is other people's resources, as represented by the 8th house in our birth chart, but also it is a deep emotional sign. So this is a quote from Jeff Jura, who says it's understandable we prefer to stay on the Taurus side of the nodal axis because it's a less demanding sign. You can see why. But addressing the deeper emotions of Scorpio is tougher than enjoying the sensual indulgences of Taurus, traditionally this time of year. Yet during the next 18 months, and these eclipses started last year, the progress we make as humans will, to some degree, depend on our willingness to engage them. Now, at any eclipse, this is the work of Stephanie Austin, a renowned astrologer. What she talks about is it's stimulating our pineal gland, because the eclipse realigns the Earth's electromagnetic field and our own individual energy field. What they're doing is they're functioning to delete old programs, just as you would with your computer, and upload new templates. Now, they are in cycles, eclipses, and the nodes of the moon are in 1.5 years per sign, so this is about a 19-year cycle. So it's the end of that cycle and the beginning of a new direction. So think back 19 years, if you can, to what was going on in your life just then. Now, they stimulate the pineal gland, which is called, of course, the seat of our soul, and the third eye. This is our inner vision and our creativity. So eclipses can facilitate this awakening and awaken our soul's blueprint. It's the Anja chakra. So just think it's just between your eyebrows. The North Star at this current time is called Polaris. This is an image of it, which I think is rather beautiful, a very powerful image to focus on. I will show that also on my website if you'd like to see it and contemplate it. Now, this lunar eclipse happening on April 25th is a very shallow, it's called a very shallow eclipse. It's partial and it's only going to last 12 minutes. That's very short, incredibly short. So it's only a small opportunity to go in this space. However, the energy, if you're conscious of energy, will last all day. And this is the chart of that eclipse, exact at 20:57, set for London, UK, British summertime. And I've called it the resistance to change. And this is because Mars is involved and it's opposite Saturn. So as you can see, this is the actual ascendant, is Scorpio in the UK. And nod is the little word right there. If you look on the left, nod means node. That's the north node. And if you look to the right, the coral colour, Taurus, it's the south node over there. So the moon is conjunct Saturn, and it will be exact a few hours later. But every month the moon always contacts Saturn. It's a regular occurrence. The moon goes around all the signs in a month. But it's heightened because this is a full moon. So that energy is what I call resistance naturally. And a lot of people have the moon, Saturn in a combination, either as a conjunction, side by side, opposition, or at a right angle, because the moon makes that aspect 4 times a month. So a lot of us have this in our charts. The sun in Taurus is conjunct Mars. Now Mars and the sun came together, but now the sun is moving faster than Mars, but they are still very closely aligned, and that is a combustion. So Mars and sun combine, and Mars is strong, it's the warrior energy. Venus, however, is also conjunct the south node. This is an extremely good aspect, and in the Vedic astrology that I work with, Venus is a guru, and she's a guru to the demons who are to do with the nodes. And that's a separate video. But the north node is also, coming back to the north node, is inconjunct. That's the dotted green line across to Jupiter in Gemini, and that's the orange sector. Now that's very stressful. Jupiter is all about our belief systems, our faith, our hope, our optimism, and this is under stress at this time. Jupiter is also at a right angle to Chiron. It's moving away now. Jupiter's going fast through the sky, but that has been difficult for all of our beliefs. Chiron is to do with the wounds. But notice the blue lines in this chart. They are trines, they are helpful. And the moon is making a very close trine to Neptune. This is healing. Also, Saturn is trining Neptune and also Chiron. So there's a strong energy of healing available if we get through that resistance. So it's so easy to talk about resistance, but it's not easy when you're caught in it. But change is what as humans, we don't really like to change, but change we must. Now, the solar eclipse happening on the new moon will be in Taurus again, and it's on May the 10th. It's only going to be visible in Australia, but a solar eclipse especially is a time of meditation, of going within, and it's not a good day to launch or start anything new, or get married, for instance, start a business. This is true, I believe, for every new moon, because the moon is never visible and the moon represents the public. But certainly eclipses are even more so. This is the chart for May the 10th. It's set for Hammersmith, that's London, UK, British summertime. Here you can see the opposition that's occurring, north node, south node, but Mars is now right with the south node. Mercury is also very close to the sun and moon, down the bottom of the chart there. And Venus has changed sign into Gemini. That's a kind of lighter energy. However, Mercury, it's interesting, Mercury and Venus are in each other's sign, so there's a connection between the two. But there's a stellium of planets in Taurus. As you can see, a lot of energy in that sign. A fixed sign, practical, earthy, grounded, nothing wrong with that. But also, this chart is showing a very strong energy now of Pluto in the royal blue sector, in the sign of Capricorn. It's making an absolute right angle to Uranus in Aries in that red sector at the bottom. This is an ongoing transit, and it is all about the whole collective. Capricorn are the institutions that Pluto wants to sweep through, rejuvenate and transform. We're seeing that in the world, all the monetary systems, banking, etc. And Uranus wants change. It wants change for change's sake. It's not got any morals about it. And it is a pioneering sign of Aries. It's 84-year transit Uranus. So this is, again, it's not a usual occurrence. But this is exacerbated at this solar eclipse. There's still the nice Neptune, Chiron, trining Saturn again. Well, that, again, I'll re-emphasize, Saturn wants structure. Pisces, water sign, emotions, meditation, a discipline of meditation or yoga, some daily practice is really, really important if you don't already do it. I emphasize that. This is Neptune's energy. Neptune is an inspirational energy. These are the horses. It's to do with horses, actually, the ways to sea. It's God of the ocean. Creativity, inspiration. It's great art. Opera, of course, is very much to do with Neptune. The movies are. But the dark side can be chaos and glamour. It's also to do with scandal, escapism, drugs, alcohol, any fantasy is to do with Neptune. And of course, the sea can erode the land, but we can get overwhelmed by our emotions through Neptune. Now, one of the important things to know as the North Node goes through Scorpio, the South in Taurus, is that they are fixed signs. So we can be set in our ways, cling to our possessions. I know that one, I have the Moon in Taurus, material or otherwise, and our habits. We can be too fearful of crisis, over focused on security, and in our attempt to achieve success through sheer will, rather than listening to our sixth sense. This is what I'm saying, meditation going within. So we need to loosen the grasp we have on the things around us and open ourselves up to our soul's need for transformation, change and regeneration. Also, be aware of your relationships at this time. They might be undergoing a lot of stress. We don't, if you expect people to be the same as you, to have the same values, but true intimacy and partnership are called for at this time. Growth is needed. Letting go is the key principle. So if we cling to things and people that are either outdated, limiting, or counter to our growth, we will be steered in the wrong direction. So releasing ourselves from our attachment to doing things our way will help us find inner balance and satisfaction. And then we move from being very independent, doing everything by ourselves, to partnering and sharing with others, which brings co-creativity. And this slide here, this beautiful little girl, is to me sums up this energy. Ask, believe, and receive. So the affirmation I'd like to leave you with is the law of pure potentiality. I can create anything, anytime, anywhere. The mantra, courtesy of Deepak Chopra, Om Pavan Nama. I am absolute existence. I am a field of all possibilities. Om Bhavan Namaha. And Pan of HealingStars.com. Find out more and subscribe to my newsletter. Thank you for listening.